Let's go. Let's go. Chasing a spot in the top 6, and Melbourne Knights fighting relegation.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was with great sadness that we learned of the recent passing of our long-time club supporters, who was also a prominent member of our sister club, the Punny Valley Lions, Leading FC, all the way back from there. For
Round 22 here in NPL Victoria. Preston Lions with 2 changes from the side that defeated Port Melbourne Sharks 5-0 before catch-up round. In comes Aaron Anderson for the suspended Jake Tchaikovsky. And Jonas Markovsky, after his game-changing display off the bench, is rewarded with a start against the side that his old man is coaching. The rest of the Preston line, Ryan Scott continues between the sticks. Stefan Negro, Matthew Bozanovsky and Dom Foligno in defence. Luke Jago, Ollie Kubalay and Markovsky playing at the 10. Leighton Brooks and Albano on the flanks, and Luke Francis starting through the middle. We're going to pause for a minute's silence. A moment's silence to honour the tragic passing of Stravko Bilic, an inaugural member of the Melbourne Knights over 45 side formed in 2019. May he rest in peace. The Melbourne Knights unchanged from the team that drew 3-3 with the Oakley Cannons in catch-up round, a result that still leaves them 7 points adrift of safety in the top flight. It would be their first relegation since 1963 on sporting merit. Gabriel Matty between the sticks, Fraser Dunlop, Nathan Hancock, Tom Werndl and Adrian Valenti, the former Preston Lions man, starting in defence. Anthony Drizel and Jack Morton in midfield, with Kieran Bramwell and AJ Inya up top. Masatu Chiba and Tommy Semi man the flanks. On the bench, Steve White comes in for Darcy Anastovsky, otherwise unchanged. Ben Carrigan, Alex Hurd, Stephen Lawless, Aidan Vuletic and Filip Jovchevski. My name is Josh Parrish. I'm delighted to welcome Adam Sarikoglu to the commentary position as well. Adam, this is a massive game for both sides, and the window of opportunity in particular for the Knights is rapidly shrinking.
Evening, Josh, and evening to everyone that is watching on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel. Yes, as we just had a little moment here where the Preston Lions could potentially pounce. Francis playing in board. Looks like the Knights will get away with it as long as they can clear out here. It's Chiba, and they will eventually clear out. Yeah, Josh, it's such a... I don't know if it's probably the biggest storyline in NPL Victoria, what has happened to these Melbourne Knights, especially after that round 1 win against Heidelberg, and so much late recent heartbreak. Obviously last week, so close to scoring a late winner, Hancock's header that was somehow denied by Jake Wachowski, one of the best saves of the season right there. Would have been a late winner for the Knights, and 2 very precious points going down the drain. You also think back to a similar outcome at Port Melbourne, maybe some 6 weeks ago now, where the Sharks scored a really late equaliser. As we see Marty needing to come off his line. And we'll go out for a goal kick. But yeah, similar situation now with a late equaliser for Port Melbourne as well. Just sets of points that seem so close for the Knights to grasp, but just going down the drain, and they're running out of chances now. They've officially only got 15 more points they can gain with a tough run home. This is obviously going to be a tough fixture for them as well tonight. And for Preston, well, 2 won't go into 4, or 4 won't go into 2 in the top 6. The top 4 seem relatively settled, and they're only really jostling for position, but you've got that real squeeze in the middle of the table with Preston, Hume City, Green Gully and Dandenong City Gully in action around the grounds as we speak against the league leaders. So precious points on the line here tonight.
Yes, we'll keep you posted with the live scores from around the grounds that have implications for both teams. Preston, in this situation, have the sides below them breathing down their neck. A misstep tonight and they could fall out of the top 6 depending on other results, even though they sit 5th ahead of the chasing pack as things stand coming into this round. Preston on the front foot to start. Foligno looking to swing one in. He'll have to settle for another throw. This is the Knights' first visit to Genesteel Stadium. BT Connor Reserve since 2009. It's to be a major away day in the VPL as Francis turns and strikes. And not to mention the NSL, of course. Francis sees his shot blocked. It's out to Brooks on the wing. Jago involved, back to Bozanovsky. Kubalay assesses his options. Jago gets away with that one as Kubalay maintains possession for the home side. Negro back to Jago. Preston with a long spell of possession here. And they find a way through. The 10 black shirts and 1 fluoro yellow jersey in front of them. Brooks stands it up. Luke Francis couldn't connect with the cross, and then Bozanovsky looked to have an arm wrapped around AJ Inya. Yanni Zizis Waves play on. This is Foligno combining with Albano. Long-time stalwart of the Knights. The 1-2 doesn't come off. 45 NPL Victoria goals for the Knights for John Albano since he joined back in 2019. He was their leading light up top, and they've missed him this season, Adam.
Yep, goals so hard to come by for Melbourne Knights. Only 25 for the season. It's a whopping goal difference. With minus 27 for the team at the bottom of the table. And they took it up to the champs last week. It was a 3-3 draw against Oakley, that catch-up game, the only game in NPL Victoria last weekend, but it felt like Oakley could just flick the switch whenever they felt like it in that game. It felt like the goals were just flowing, goals were going in for fun. I think 4 of the 6 goals in the game came in the first quarter of it. Something close to that. 2 at half-time, and then Knights took the lead through this man, Tommy Semi, just after the hour mark. Wanted to let that slip through, resulting in the 3-3 draw. But the promise was just there. They held a second-half lead, so close to a late winner. There might not have been many at Summer Street last week, but they were certainly full of voice and full of hope.
Francis colliding with Tom Werndl off the ball there. Sent him to the deck.
Week off for Preston would have come at a pretty good time, desperately needing a win, of course, after getting up 5-0 against Port Melbourne 2 weeks ago. Would the week off have come at a good time?
I think so, although you could argue that after you've scored 5 goals, you want to play again as soon as possible, but they avoid the Sunday to Friday quick turnaround. It's always nicer to have a break off after a good performance rather than be stewing over a 4-0 loss away at Jack Edwards for a good 2 weeks.
A bad way to make up for that.
Yeah, 9-goal turnaround in the space of a week. Shows that Preston's best is very good. It's been inconsistency that's plagued them this season on their return to the top flight. And like you mentioned with the Knights, Preston have copped a lot of late goals as well. 4 goals they've conceded on 4 separate occasions in stoppage time. They were victorious in their last encounter with the Melbourne Knights. Marcus Schroen, in his milestone game, his 200th in NPL Victoria, netted the winning goal with a glancing header after a beautiful cross from Stefan Negro to tee him up. And Valenti with a wayward clearance. Nearly takes out his old coaching staff on the Preston bench. Negro inboard to Kubalay. Lots of space to operate for Ollie Kubalay here. And he gives Leighton Brooks something to chase. It's a perfect through ball. Brooks will hang it high to the back stick. Markovsky was waiting. Fraser Dunlop did just enough. Albano recycles. Back to the captain, Jego. Across the back line to Negro. And you can see what the game plan is for Knights very clearly. Sit deep and counter. 2 banks of 4. And just frustrate for as long as they can. Here's Brooks. Waits for the overlap of Negro. That pass is rather predictable and picked off by Giselle. Away comes Inya, and we know he's got pace on the break. Evades the attentions of Jego and slides it through for Semi, who lost track of the ball. Oh, a slapstick moment to sum up the Knights' season to date.
Tommy Semi had no idea that was coming. It's a complete miscommunication. As Jonas Markovsky dashes down the right wing and sent it to the Merry Creek by Tom Werndl. It's been played on Preston's terms so far. Kubalay Markovski quick to dish back off, out wide for Brooks. Second chance for Kubalay. Markovski was on the back foot. Stefan Negro finding some space here for Brooks to play another one in. Some calls for handball, quickly waved off. It's Yanni Zitsis that's in charge tonight. Wasn't satisfied that he saw the handling of the ball. Anderson into the 11 tonight. Jago gets held up just beyond midfield. A lot of Preston's attack coming through Leighton Brooks, and why not? Had a stellar season. Did score one of those 5 a fortnight ago against Port Melbourne. Watch that goal the first time around, Josh, and it's hard to tell, was it a mishit cross or indeed an actual shot? When you watch it back the first time, just snuck inside the near post.
I think Leighton Brooks' reaction to the goal going in betrayed him somewhat there. Ball hit a bobble. Still, spectacular finish from that angle, whether he meant it or not.
It was the second of the 5.
I'm just looking back at that handball shout. The ball does strike an arm. Looks to have come off his knee first, though, so referees are usually reticent to give a handball that's touched a different part of the body first. Hand was a long way away from the torso, though, so Knights potentially get away with one. Hancock chips into space. Hancock was the man who had the chance to win it in the 94th minute last week, as you mentioned, Adam. Save of the season from Jack Wachowski. Incredible. What a heartbreaking way for the Knights to miss out on 3 points that would have changed the trajectory of their season. Now it's a mountain to climb in these last 5 games. As for Preston, the chance to make a finals campaign in their first season back in the top flight in the NPL era. Only Dandenong City did that. They did it last season. Newly promoted teams traditionally don't make finals football in their first year. Northcote City did it previously, but it was before the NPL era technically kicked off. Giselle. Chiba. Giselle under the pump. Werndl. Neatly done by Werndl into the feet of Inya. Right, screaming for a free kick. It's not going to be paid. Instant switch of play from Hancock. Ends up at the feet of Tommy Semi, who's got a lot to do here. Morton begging for the ball instead. Cuts it back to Inya, and it's the tamest shot you've ever seen. I think he was trying to stand it up into the box, but ends up straight with Ryan Scott in the Preston goal. Just no power on it at all. Jago. Space to pick out Brooks. Leighton Brooks has 2 to aim for in the box. It's cut back to Markovski! And really, he should have done better. Jonas Markovski with the goal at his mercy.
Yeah, I don't know if it took a bobble on the way through to his boot, but it did seem like a bit of a miss-hit. But it's coming back to the other end. That's now 2 Melbourne Knights attacks where we've just, I don't know what we've seen. That was really nothing from AJ Inya in that previous one where there was the misconnect with Tommy Semi as well. Knights fans must be watching, shaking their heads. Just a complete lack of cohesion up front. Preston instantly countering and generating a really decent shot. But we're still at 0-0 at Jenna Steele Stadium. A cold Friday night. Back in the traditional time slot here for Preston.
Goodness me, what a chance for Jonas. The Golden Boot winner in 2023. It was off his weaker left foot, but from 10 yards with no defender within a metre of him. At least should have put it on target.
Yep.
Such a massive chance against an opponent that's going to defend deep. Could come back to bite Preston. Markovski was the target again there, but that long ball from the back line from Anderson. Runs all the way through to Gab Matty.
Wernzel's going to go back and fetch this. Just gets there in time. No easy ways out for Melbourne Knights right now. As Valenti going in to try to help. Or at least get the throw. Andrew Valenti's fourth appearance for Melbourne Knights since coming over from Preston in the mid-season window. Vinny went to ground. Negro went for the ball. Play will continue. All the way back to Jago. Bozanovski in plenty of space. Kubele will kickstart a new attack from the back here.
Semi, step forward, Semi. Yes, step forward, step forward. Yes, step forward.
Brooks presenting once more. Up in that right wing position. Negro. Get it back from Jago.
I tell you, Oakley's already inside 33 minutes, 2-0 up against Hume City. Connor Hampson and Adam Duratovic with the goals.
It's good news for Preston. Sitting just above Hume on the table as we speak.
Good news for their top 6 chances, not good news for their top 4 chances. With Oakley climbing further ahead on the live ladder. You can't win. So the two teams you're perched between.
So I do suppose if you are of the Preston persuasion, you're still eyeing off that top 4. There is a bit of a gap right now.
It would take some doing to bridge that and get a home final. Preston would be happy enough to just remain in the 6.
That's the risk right now for those 4 teams in the middle. 2 of them are not going to make it. Based on how the season is poised so far. Starting this weekend, 5 more fixtures in NPL Victoria before we reach the postseason. As Inia gets held up. Kubele went first time down the direction of Albano. Just flashes one high, and the second time of asking gets away from Semi. Negro looking to go quickly. Albano was lurking near the back post, and Dunlop was happy to concede the corner in the end.
Not a dissimilar position to where he put the cross in for Marcus Schroen's winner against the Knights in round 9. Lovely shape on the ball from Stefan Negro.
Jago to take what I believe is the first corner of the night. Just a touch of breeze here tonight, not too bad. Blustery. It'll be Jago. Looking to send it in. These numbers right in front of the goal face. Marty gets bowled over. It's out for a goal kick. Body's flying.
Like Matt Bozanovski, the tallest man on the pitch, is the obvious target off set pieces. There was a moment of panic on the Preston bench. Coaching staff screaming at Ollie Kubele to stay back. Knights had left 2 of their quickest players on either wing, Tommy Semi and AJ Inya. In fact, it was Chiba. They left high up the park waiting for the counter-attack, so Preston were 2-on-2 for a moment. The corner had spilled the Knights' way. Really, Kubele being encouraged to stay back on the edge of his own centre circle and not overcommit, especially not this early in the contest. This is Felino. Wanted more movement ahead of him from Albano. They go down the other side. Negro. Had a lot of joy down this right flank so far, Preston. Oh, lovely back heel from Brooks. Sammy with a good recovery defending. Manages to delay and put it out for a throw.
AJ, drop off a bit. Turn your shoulders. That's good.
Trying to be taken by Negro. He's taking his time over it. Actually comes short to Kubalay. Will remain a Preston ball. Bramwell's been playing very deep this evening. Almost as part of the midfield three rather than as a forward when we're more used to seeing him. That one's picked off by Hancock. Morton. Puts it back off Valenti. Francis. Harassing and harrying the ball carrier. Brooks comes in with the challenge on his former teammate. He's part of the Preston side that won promotion from VPL 1 to the top division last season before leaving in this recent mid-season transfer window. Jego. High, hopeful switch. Tentative defending from Fraser Dunlop, and was that a back pass? Yanni Zizas says no. If it wasn't a back pass, Adam, I'm not sure what Fraser Dunlop was intending.
Maybe one for the replay. You do get a look at it.
I mean, it takes a brave referee to call an indirect free kick in the box. Maybe he thought he didn't touch it.
Bump ball as well, as soon as the ball bounced. Actually, that's when the alleged contact with the boot occurred as well. So the Knights with a rare possession here. Retreating all the way back to Marty. And that's the second one that's gone onto the practice pitches for the evening for Melbourne Knights. Still waiting for the first score here. Best chance gone begging for Jonas Markovski about 10 or so minutes ago. One that should really have gone in. Flashed it both wide and high off the target. Had such a dazzling season. Being coached by his dad at Altona Magic, winning the Golden Boot. Winning a chance in the A-Leagues with Brisbane Roar. Rare touch for Ryan Scott. Markovski working his way up. Now Jego. Oh, Brooks, the first touch was good, then he got tripped up. Clear foul. Good foul to give away though by the former Preston Lions man Adrian Valenti. Now he will get at least a talking to. Yanni Zizas is the referee this evening.
Surprised he's stayed out of the book there. Maybe it was too wide and too deep to call it an attacking chance, but certainly Brooks had beaten him all ends up and had space in behind to run into.
An amazingly deft first touch.
Oh, it was incredible.
From Leighton Brooks.
Incredible bit of skill from Brooks.
We had a good view of it as well up here. Some more patience from Luyachevsky's men. Stephen Negro asking the Brooks or Markovski to come a little closer. Presents up, went lateral instead. Kibalino going wide. It's as if they have all the time in the world right now, Preston. Eventual release by Bozanovski. Just get away from Brooks. Oh, and Marty's just had a moment there. He will recover.
Threw it straight into Leighton Brooks' head. Brooks jumped in front of him and nearly headed the ball back from where it came from.
We have already had 4, maybe 5 bizarre moments with Melbourne Knights in possession already this evening. It's up for grabs at halfway here. Bramwell just hacking it forward for Inia. One-on-one beaten pretty well there by Bozanovsky. Ryan Scott in for his third appearance for Preston. Felino going down the line. Really keen to use his right side so far tonight. Ingro keeping it central though, the little touch for Jago. Just got away from him. Now Semi looking around. Semi opening there, the ball taken away from him in the end. He's taking on quite a few red shirts. He's taken an unfortunate touch.
Brooks is inadvertently smacked in the head by the ball for the second time this evening. So he's wrong-footed by the pass. Giselle. Valenti will have another bite at this. Heard long and down the line from Valenti. Semi's not going to get there. Comes up back with Giselle. Valenti tries to dig out the switch. It's a superb pass in the end for Hancock to get out of trouble. To Marty. Chiba coming in field. There's no one offering down the line in time. Now Felino. Knocks it into space for Francis. Too much space as it turned out. Semi. Careless turnover from the Knights. Kubele spots the runner Brooks on the far side. Valenti got a glancing touch. Preston corner. They love that left to right switch to Leighton Brooks running down the line. Exploited it to great effect against Port Melbourne in their last outing. In behind 4 or 5 times in the first half alone. So it certainly would have been part of the scouting report for Knights this week. It's going to be Jago to take an outswinger. High one to the back post. Albano arriving, not in time. Wendell climbing well. Can he get the counter-attack started for the visitors? Possession changes hands this way and that, and eventually Albano races through the gap. Albano drives it in low. Francis is waiting! And it's over the crossbar. Luke Francis with a golden chance to open his Preston Lions account, but he couldn't keep his shot on the turn. Down enough. Well, that's 2 golden chances, Adam, for Preston from a similar distance. Markovski and now Francis.
Yeah, and again, we nearly had a calamity at the back as well for Melbourne Knights. As we see Wendell just try to run it out of.
It's silly from Semi. He just took his eyes off the ball before he controlled it. Basic things, he wasn't under pressure.
So it's back in Preston's possession once more.
I'm sure the pressure on these players is huge. You don't want to be the side that gets Knights relegated.
Another one in the direction of Brooks, just gets away from him.
I feel like Knights are making errors that they wouldn't normally make, given that they know time is running out for them to secure their survival in the league.
Yeah, I said at the start, Josh, it really is. It's probably the story of the season in NPL Victoria, isn't it? It's just, for so many, so unthinkable that the Knights could be on the verge of going down.
Rotten timing from them to have their worst season in so long when 3 teams are going down this year. There would be a red-hot chance to stay up. We're still 2 up, 2 down. Gap to Altona is significant.
Well, we won't put him down just yet, but the example you go to is actually Preston, isn't it?
Yeah.
With the big name being down for so long.
15 years it took Preston to climb back up the leagues. The situation was a bit different, real financial turmoil.
It's the first head-to-head between these two at this venue since 2009. So 16 years ago. Zell's under all sorts of pressure. Now Francis is looking to take it away. That time it sneaks in. Just took them all on and put it away. It was a long time coming. But finally, it's Preston 1 and Melbourne Knights 0.
Luke Francis on a lap of honour for his first Preston goal. Kept it low and hard into the bottom corner. There was no way Gabriel Marti was getting a fingertip to that. But again, it stems from a careless turnover from the Knights. Anthony Drizel has his pocket picked by Luke Jego, and Luke Francis does the rest. Now that celebration, he ran half the length of the pitch. Elsewhere, Heidelberg have taken the lead away, Green Gully Reserve, so again, another good result as it stands for Preston in their chase for finals football. Morton slid it through for Chiba. We went down under the challenge and expected a free kick that never arrived. Meanwhile, Hancock intercepting the dangerous counter from Preston. Chiba. Bramwell. Little bounce pass with Semi. Bramwell goes from distance and he can hit them. And he struck it well. It's a yard or two wide of the far post. That was the sharpest bit of interplay we've seen from the Knights so far this evening.
First shot fired as well. So the results, there are 4 games in NPL Victoria tonight, and the results so far working out well for Preston in their top 6 battle. They will play Green Gully at Keilor Downs, the penultimate match day of the season. And it's going to be a huge one, the final day of the season as well. I think it's a Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff on the final day, Josh. That'll be here against Dandenong Thunder, and that could be huge as well. And how the final 6 does shape up. Some big fixtures coming up, we know. Melbourne Knights will play Altona at the same time as Semi goes wide. Sheba thought about shooting. Decided to dish off toward the near post we go, but Scott had it well covered.
Feels like the Knights have been reignited by that goal. They were so passive in what they were doing for so much of this first half, and suddenly they're going forward with much more purpose and intent.
I'm not sure as to why it takes a goal for that shift to occur, though.
It's a psychological thing. Once you've got something to lose, then let's wait on it now. You're almost free to chase the game. And
the thing is, Josh, they're fighting for their NPL Victoria lives. I mean, the urgency should have been there from kickoff.
Really should have.
Everything matters. Every minute matters for Melbourne Knights.
The instruction was probably to try and stay in the game and then open up in the second half, but they don't have that luxury now. Oh, Scott with a nervy moment at the back. Anderson clears his lines. Luke Francis has one to chase. Marty is well outside his penalty area and does make the clearance in time.
I suppose if you're going to sit back and be conservative, you've at least got to be clean. That's what the Knights have lacked. Multiple chances have been generated from Melbourne Knights' mistakes.
Brooks. Valenti got a foot in. Giselle picking out Chiba on the far side. A little drag back from Chiba gets the better of Albano. Now Fraser Dunlop spots the run of Semi ahead of him, but it's picked off rather comfortably by Foligno. Bozanovsky. Brooks. Hits the deck, no whistle from Yanni Zizis. Inya throws a step over. Out to Morton. It's a dead ball specialist, so he can cross it. Still he goes inside to Bramwell. Clearance dug out by Kubalay, only as far as Adrian Valenti. Hancock has Dunlop available on the switch. Instead, he picks out the feet of Semi, who hurls himself to the ground. And the whistle goes for a Melbourne Knights free kick in shooting range. You can hear the point that the Preston bench are making over the foul not given in for Leighton Brooks versus the whistle going for Tommy Semi. Whether or not those challenges are equivalent, we'll let you make your own mind up at home. 3 in the wall for Preston. It's a long way out. Hancock might fancy it, but you'd wager Jack Morton is the usual set-piece taker for the Knights. It will be Morton, who strikes it from distance, and it's just tipping over the crossbar. It's enough to keep Ryan Scott honest, but not quite enough to force a save.
Not a bad attempt by Jack Morton, just bounced off the top netting in the end. So it's been a positive response from John Markovski's men since the goal. Just after the half-hour mark, Luke Francis on the board for the first time as a Preston Lions player. Giselle back home now after leaving Summer Street. Inia. Giselle. It's not going to get close enough for AJ Inia to be able to have an impact. So is it Preston now? They're the ones just needing to settle a little bit, get some ascendancy back. Bozanovsky, Kubalay, wanting to quickly go in the direction of Leighton Brooks. That's been the MO for Preston so far. Markovski pushed off it by Giselle. Had it flicked back to him by Morton. Jonas Markovski went in a second time. Morton beyond the stretched boot of Inia. It's Anderson and Bozanovsky at the back for Preston. Held onto it for a while. There's Markovski out in front of Wendell. Valenti will get ahead of Brooks here. Marty again, awkward clearance, but he was off balance. Cleared away more emphatically by Wendell. It's Foligno who's trying to combine with John Albano. The Knights fans will know all too well how dangerous he is. How much of a threat he could be as he just steals it here, John Albano. Jago not in the right spot for Markovski to have an impact. No shot fired in the end.
It's the second time Albano's won it deep in the final third. With a tackle like that in that corner and nearly teed up a goal-scoring opportunity. First of which was spooned just over the crossbar by Luke Francis. Semi to the corner flag. And no way past the towering figure of Matt Bozanovsky as the two come together. Kubalay getting a hurry up from Bramwell. Nigro has very little ahead of him. leverages his years of A-League experience and buys a throw and buys some time for Preston, who were stretched. Fans in front of us finding their voice. Negro picks out Francis. Ferocious tackle from Hancock, and it was a fair one. Bramwell. AJ Inya sizing up Negro. Off a shout for handball for the Knights. Going to be paid there. Well, scoring goals hasn't really been a problem for the Knights in their most recent run of games. Scored 11 in their last 6. Unfortunately, they've conceded 19. We saw against Oakley, they are capable of fighting back from a deficit, scoring against higher ranked opposition. And they do it here. Inya grabs the ball, forces the referee to make a decision, which will be a Knights free kick in a promising spot.
It's a nice run by Inya as well. It started that little deft touch again off the instep. It's earned a free kick here for Melbourne Knights.
So he's got something about him, Inya. Seems to be as likely as anybody to find something. He's a pretty wiry speedster. When he left Summers Street, Southeast Asian sojourn, he's filled out a lot more physical presence about him these days. His sister Tash Inya actually played for the Preston women's team. He was a key part of the VPLW promotion a few years ago. Valenti hangs it high to the back post. Hancock volleys it across the box. Negro with a touch away. Back out to Valenti. Preston successfully defend the set piece. And despite a slip from Negro, AJ Inya can only concede the throw.
We've seen a couple of players lose their footing so far tonight. I'd be surprised if it's quite dewy out there, Josh. It's a very chilly evening. Dry day here in Melbourne. Gazelle. Hancock. With a nothing ball through. Gazelle in the direction of Inya. It will be a Melbourne Knights throw though. AJ Inya. Pinballs around between he and Kubalay. Is it a corner or a throw? Ball's just cannoned off the boot of Negro. I don't know if it's a spectator or what just happened there, Josh. There actually is a light tower in the way.
There were oohs and ahs from the crowd.
Yeah.
So I suspect it. I'd hit a spectator. The Preston physio is actually coming over.
I don't think we've got a good sight on this from our vantage point, just with where the light tower is.
I hit a small child out of who seems to be okay from the looks of things. That's why Yanni Zizis called over the medic.
Going to be a signed shirt from Stefan Negro after the game. This corner of the night, is it? At least from this side from Melbourne Knights.
Not on the corner spot.
It's bounced up in front of the goal face here, cleared away eventually. Still keeping half an eye on whatever happened just behind the corner flank there. Hopefully everyone's okay. So the Knights have been pressing since conceding just out after the half-hour mark. But now here is a key moment that they've got to defend, because Jago was on the rebounds and the Knights just had space for a moment. They flood back in numbers now, the Melbourne Knights. It's Jago Kubele going all the way back to Bozanovsky. Negro. Brooks had peeled off Valenti going toward the corner flag, but Negro went inboard instead. Now Brooks gets his chance. Just getting away from Semi. Albano's in the region here, right at the gloves of Gabriel Marti was Luke Francis.
1 minute on the fourth officials board to end this first half. Preston with a deserved lead. Knights some signs of life after they conceded that opening goal. Matty will send it long and high into the night sky and reservoir. Bozanovsky up for the header. Giselle battling for it. It's his giveaway that led to Preston's goal. He'll be looking to make amends. Morton, Valenti, Chiba out in space on the right. Dunlop racing forward in support. Chiba's going to cross it early. Inya's the target. Couldn't get meaningful contact on it. And it's hooked away by Jego. Markovsky volleyed it up to himself and then flattened his opponent. And Yanni Zizis will call an end to the first half. Both sides thought he was whistling for a free kick. There are 2 blows on the whistle. And that will be the end of the first 45 here at Jenna Steele Stadium. Preston Lions through Luke Francis. And his first goal for the club have the advantage, and we're seeing Stefan Negro now go and apologise to the spectator whose clearance he felt the brunt of Negro's clearance. Nice moment in the stands there. Well, Adam, your thoughts on the first half? Let's go!
I'll be feeling okay, but yeah, it's still mostly on Preston in terms of this one so far.
We'll take a break here on the NPL Victoria live stream. A halftime score: Preston Lions 1, Melbourne Knights 0.
Port Melbourne nil, then Thunder nil. That game was just the second half was just kicked off in that game. And we have Oakley Cannon 2, Hughes Sydney nil, and that game also just kicking off in the second half. And in the NPLW game this evening involving our Preston Lions women's team is currently Bentley Green nil, Preston Lions 1 at half time.
in. I'll cue you because I got to turn the mixer on.
We're back at Geneseo Stadium. It is round 22 in NPL Victoria, and Preston is leading the Melbourne Knights by 1-0. Adam Sarikoglu, Josh Parrish with you here on what is a very, very chilly Friday night. The goal was just after the half-hour mark. Luke Francis putting it away after a couple of other key chances went begging for Preston over at this southern end of the grounds here. And the Knights are on the first possession here of the second half. Ball incoming for Tommy Semi. Surrounded by Preston Lions defenders, back out for Chiba, who will play in. But Preston will be able to break away here. It was the ball from John Albano in the direction of the goal scorer, Francis Marty, a long way out of his area and into the grandstands. It goes Josh Parrish.
I think Francis was just a little too anxious about staying on side there. He realised he'd run beyond, but overcorrected and meant he couldn't get onto that through ball. He's still working out, I guess, the timing of the runs and the familiarity with the new centre forward, Preston, after he joined mid-season in the window from Wynnum Wolves in NPL Queensland. Was the Golden Boot winner there last season. 23 for the season. And now 1 for Preston Lions, Guernsey. He's broken his duck in his third appearance and second start. Negro. Brooks. Hancock has a bit of cleaning up to do. It's very neatly done. Takes it back off Werndl. Negro was first to the ball and wins the throw. Two balls on the pitch. Bramwell will address. Preston have only strung together back-to-back wins once this season. They've been up and down all year. Can they do it tonight?
So we have 1 of 4 games in NPL Victoria going on. It's a busy night as usual. This season that's been so heavily loaded with Friday night fixtures. There's a 4-way battle going on for the final 2 spots in the top 6 right now in the middle of the table. And some of the scores we're seeing around the grounds, it's turning out to be a good night for Preston so far, because both Green Gully and Hume City find themselves down 3-0 in other fixtures. It was a final score actually that's come through between Green Gully and Heidelberg, a 3-0 win for the league leaders against Gully. That one has gone to full time, and just beyond the hour mark, it's Oakley 3, Hume City 0.
Seen a red card as well over JL Murphy, so that's good news for the Knights. Port Melbourne down a goal to Danny on Thunder, and just a minute later, they've gone down to 10 men, the second game in a row. After Mitch Trajewski was sent off here in round 21. Side flag up against Francis. Intercepted by Foligno. It's a risky clearance from Matty. Foligno sends Albano to the byline and he's nutmegged his man. Magic from Albano, but the cross didn't match. Like he was trying to go through Hancock's legs as well.
I think that was an awkward block for Hancock, that's for sure. Okay. Ball's making contact when you don't expect it. After Stefan Negro picked out a spectator late in the first half. Another awkward ball here from Marty. And an unconvincing clearance as well from Morton. As Felino eventually pounces toward the back post. Here's John Albano. Hancock will eventually retrieve it for the Knights. Shiba looking to get to work on Mujego and just lost control of it. And it's going to stay with Melbourne Knights here.
The referees missed the touch off Chiba on the line. Should have been a Preston ball. But the Knights players had stopped and been awarded their way, so as if Preston was through on goal.
Well, the Knights are the ones needing just the little wins here. After conceding the goal just after the 30-minute mark, they really did come out firing after that. Just go for it, back themselves in, get it forward, try to get a shot or two away. It's going to come back here.
Handball is the verdict off John Albano, I think.
There was a handball shout early in the first half, wasn't there? It easily resulted in a Preston Lions penalty.
It's Hancock. He got away with that one. Probably because the ball ricocheted off his quad first. Giselle. Wafted forward by Wernville in the direction of Semi. Header won well by Anderson. Wernville in bravely. Kubalay. Brooks with the header down, and Preston will get it back on the green thing in front of us after a long head tennis rally between the two sides. Swept up by Wernville. Giselle with time to assess his options. Fraser Dunlop is sprinting forwards. He had to backtrack, keep that in play. He's got to run at Chiba, but the pass is over Cooks.
So for the Knights, they're really keeping an eye on Port Melbourne. Melbourne victory at the moment. Santona, St Albans above them as well. St Albans and South probably safe at this point.
They're just about, maybe one more win, and they can officially put their feet up.
South will play Altona on Sunday. Dynamo hosting Melbourne victory. We've seen Shiba here trying to get to work on Felino. Some help arriving late by John Albano. There wasn't much play over on the left side for John Albano to get involved in the first half, but every time it did go near him, something seemed to happen.
Winning the ball himself on a couple of occasions.
There he is now. Gets out, John Albano, but he's got nothing ahead. Just has to take it up. He was a bit too keen to offload. Francis in all sorts of trouble. Markovski in to help. There might still be a chance here for Preston to strike here. Negro decided to play back instead. Francis was waiting right in front of Gabe Marty. They're struggling to clear out here. Valencia having all sorts of trouble. Hancock concedes the corner. Had to, because again it was just chaos in the box for Melbourne Knights.
Valencia's had a big old air swing at that one. The running theme of just skill errors from the Knights players tonight. Fluffing their lines at times. Pressure situations.
So another Mujego corner. Preston looking to double the lead. In a night where those around them on the table are falling. Jago just placing it. Posanovsky again trying to impose his height from the corner kick. It's gone out eventually. Posnowski does have the 1 goal to his name this season in NPL Victoria.
It was tucked home from point-blank range, almost on the goal line, and he knocked it in, but still had to be finished. He had to fight tooth and nail to be recognised with that 1 goal as well. It originally went down as a Jason Romero goal from the free kick, but he was, upon review by Football Victoria, deemed to have had the final touch on it. Foligno. Albano with the return ball. Foligno with time to pick out a teammate in the box. Diving header away from Werndl. Hubelay will keep this alive. Hangs it up to the back post for Francis, and it's cleared off the line by Hancock. Melbourne Knights living dangerously. One back by Jago. Negro. Jago to cross. Into the near post for Francis. Scrambled away by Werndl. He had 2 assists with crosses. Last time out against Port Melbourne, Luke Jago. When he drifts into those wide areas, he is dangerous. Well won by Valenti, and Knights can get out of trouble. Maybe spring an attack of their own. Morton needed to thread the eye of a needle there. Oh, but there's a bit of hesitancy between Albano and Anderson. He's let the Knights back in. Plenty of red shirts back to defend this now. Morton has drifted wide. Chiba. Albano will shield this out for a Preston goal kick.
Some kind of don't argue there, I think, from John Albano.
Luke Francis beat Gabe Marty. All ends up to the ball off that lovely cross. And that looked to be going in from the head of Francis.
It's a rather casual clearance as well from Hancock, wasn't it?
He made it look easy.
Yeah. Is there some space here? Jonas Markovski. Albano over on the left. Which way does he go? He'll take the corner. There's a Dunlop was in front of him.
Easy to save from up here, but I think Albano took the wrong avenue there. Needed to cut inside and fire off a shot as quickly as possible.
Corners are starting to pile up. So the paperwork being handed to the 4th official as well. When are we going to see the first change from John Markovski this evening? The board is getting ready. Hugo Arslan, the 4th official here tonight. So here we go. Another Luke Jago corner. Steve White, the man that's going to come on. The ball was found to be not on the right mark. Jago actually fell over as he sent the ball in there just about. Again, it's pinballing around in the area. Now spread once more. Hubelay with relatively quick release in the direction. Stefan Negro in the one-on-one here with Tommy Semi. Semi's just bulldozed his way in front of Negro and won it back for Melbourne Knights. The ball was quickly sent in the direction of Inia, who is just surrounded by red shirts. There were 5 of them in his immediate vicinity. Then the whistle went. So who makes way for Steve White's first change of the night here? Anthony Dazelle will be the man coming off.
He'll add a little bit of creativity to the midfield. Steve White has been, I believe, playing through injury for a lot of the season. Otherwise, he'd be a nailed-on starter. They need to roll the dice here. Eagle-eyed viewers might have picked out it's not John Markovski on the bench tonight, in fact. Just had it confirmed that he's serving a touchline ban. So that's Sean Varr, the assistant coach, who's actually managing the day-to-day. Running the substitutions. I'm sure the starting lineup would have been picked by Markovski. But he's had his name crossed off the team sheet tonight. Can't be in the dugout. The kick was flighted in. Hancock feels he was caught by Francis. Referee not interested. Brooks He stayed on side. Pass for Markovski. It's too heavy. Oh, Werndl has dwelt on it, and it could be a tap-in for Francis Lees. Melbourne Knights, the architects of their own demise. And Luke Francis is cooking at the Preston Lions. He's broken his duck, and now he's doubled his tally.
Number 27, Luke Francis.
Another terrible turnover in defence. This time Tom Werndl was the guilty party. Leighton Brooks did the hard yards to win the ball and square it to Francis. He was left with an unguarded net.
First one on the half-hour mark, the second one just before we hit the 60-minute mark here.
They're both just glaring defensive turnovers. Out in the first one from Anthony Juzel, and this one even more obvious error in defence.
It could so easily been 2-0 only minutes earlier as well. Had Nathan Hancock not been in the right spot at the right time.
Got to credit the hard work of the Preston attackers for forcing the mistakes, I suppose, but both avoidable goals to concede for the Knights.
It's turning out in the battle for the top six to be a really good night for Preston.
Oakley, the ball just beating Albano there. There's so much spin on that pass. Sorry, Adam.
So Oakley put a fourth past Hume City with a quarter hour to play there. On goal difference, a 6-goal turnaround tonight. The way the scores are shaping up between Hume and Preston right now. Preston fans will know all too well the pain of conceding regular goals at Oakley in recent times.
It's a night to forget. It was a mercy in the end. There were no Preston supporters allowed in the venue to see it.
It was 7-0 on aggregate since, though. As Jago will go out wide. A longer ball in the direction of Francis, the hot hand right now. It's just trying to find answers for Melbourne Knights. There's just not much there right now. It's like, I mean, you touched on it a fair bit, Josh, in the first half, that they're frazzled, they're under the pump.
They haven't been able to get AJ Inyo involved at all in the second half. He's been marooned out on the left flank. Tommy Semi has come inside, and I don't think either player has been better off with the switch.
Kieran Brownwell's really finding it hard to get into this one as well. He was the one leading from the front last week against Oakley. Kieran Brownwell was covering so much territory last week, just imposing himself on the game whenever he could. Scored one of those 3 goals tonight. He's been barely sighted. Luchevsky looking relatively comfortable right now. So he takes a sip from his water bottle. Gives Don Felino some advice before offloading this ball. It's looking like 15 available points is going to become 12 for Melbourne Knights. It's getting dire now.
Well, if Altona pull off an upset and beat South Melbourne on Sunday, the gap is going to be 9 points to safety. South Melbourne will be the nearest team.
It's a really, really tough run home that they've had to face as well. 8 days rest before going to George Andrews. And the Dandenong Thunder coming up in round 23 for Melbourne Knights.
So good at home as well, the Thunder. It's tough to see the Knights getting snitching out of that.
The 10 goes to go for the away team, much like this one, as this one's going to deflect over and out for a corner.
Some magic lead-up work from Leighton Brooks, who has given his former teammate a tough time on that flank tonight. Again, he's beaten his defender all ends up.
Valenti been step for step for much of this one so far.
And there's a little nutmeg on Valenti looking back at it. And the nasty deflection off Werndl almost looped in.
So another Luke Jago corner. Preston maybe looking to pile on some goal difference here. Especially with the woes of Hume tonight out at Oakley in the southeast. Once again, Bozanowski coming up, but nothing coming for Preston.
It's the third time they've picked him out of a set piece tonight. Bozanowski. Fancy he should have a goal.
For Preston, another home fixture coming up in 7 nights' time against Melbourne Victory.
That'll be a huge one. Victory, one of their better performances this season. Getting a scoreless draw against Preston at the home of the Matildas in their reverse fixture. That was largely thanks to Daniel Graskoski. Superb goalkeeping performance. He hasn't been available for selection for Victory for most of the season. We'll see if he makes a return towards the back end of the campaign. That could change things for the Young Bucks. There's an incident off the ball as Albano crosses in with his left, and Matty underneath it looked nervous. Kubalay on the stripe. He's back up to his feet now. Off the ball collision. Pretty significant coming together with Kubalay and Kieran Bramwell. Giannis is just enforcing the rules and regulations that there should only be one player in the Preston dugout standing. It's going to be the head coach, Lou Itsevsky, who remains on his feet. Werndl. High hanging switch to Semi. Semi steps inside. Good tackle from Negro. Got a piece of the ball. Valenti. All the way back to Marti. Preston were encouraging Albano to take the risk and step out on Hancock. He's done so in time to put him off that pass. Now Negro rolls it down the line for Brooks, who's been devastating tonight. Brooks hangs it high for Markovski, who was thinking about the spectacular volley. See him half shaping for the scissor kick at him. Thought better of it when he saw an opponent's head in the way. So Preston truly in control here, as many would have predicted. Jago. Anderson in some space. That's a back from Foligno. Kubalay. Take a heavy knock a couple of minutes ago. There's Albano. He's looking to slice the way through here. Kubalay coming in to help out. Zinnia has won it back for Melbourne Knights. Wilson has to retreat. Dave Marty. For him, it must be such a daunting night for him, with all sorts of chaos happening in front of him. Had a minor fumble himself moments ago, didn't he, as well, on the goal line. It's Morton. It'd be the first backup keeper to come to Preston this season and have a nervy night.
Yep.
Jonathan Pethulis of South Melbourne, infamously so. And that derby here that saw 9,000 plus through the gates.
There's been a lot of big moments between Preston and South in recent times, obviously. It's Dunlop who earns a corner here for Melbourne Knights.
We have Preston change in the offing. Jason Romero, first cab off the rank. The straight swap would be for Markovski. Anything else would require a reshuffle. He's played most of his football as a number 10 this season.
Markovski's had his moments tonight. Keen this early in the game. Right now, the Knights getting a rare look at a corner here. Toward the near post it goes. Sammy was the one trying to act first on the scene. Morton blazes one in the direction of Ryan Scott, who had no trouble in the end.
It's a little lax in defence from Preston there, and it's sat really kindly for Morton. Hit it straight and true, and in the end straight at the goalkeeper. It's going to be a double change for Preston, in fact. Giorgio Sir Dennis is ready to come on as well. So
the intent is clear with these moves, I think, for Preston. As Albano goes toward Jonas Markovski. Especially seeing Sir Dennis and Romero both ready to come on. Markovski pretty likely to be coming off as Josh flagged, as we now have a corner at the other end.
I think Luke Francis is going to be the other player withdrawn, which is harsh when you're on a hat-trick, but maybe Preston keeping their powder dry. He has got through a lot of running tonight.
Yeah, he's been targeted one out in the second half in particular. Is Luke Francis. So another corner here for Jago. It's gone directly in front of the goal, and it's now 3-0. And it's eased in by Aaron Anderson. There wasn't much to it at all. It gets even better for Preston. So much more darker for Melbourne Knights.
Powerful header from point blank range from Anderson. You have to feel the keeper has got to come for that.
Number 4, Aaron Anderson.
It's totally unmarked. Free as a bird at the front post, Aaron Anderson. And he breaks a year-long scoring drought for Preston. His last goal came back in June of 2024. Back in the team today as a result. Suspension for Jake Tchaikovsky. Aaron Anderson makes the most of his opportunity in the starting lineup. Preston 3 to the good. Now about to make 3 substitutions in 1. Jonas Markovski will be withdrawn for Jason Romero. Giorgio Sir Dennis on for Luke Francis. And it looks like John Albano is going to make way for Connor Bell. Albano is about to come off. Maybe he was receiving some final instructions. That's going to be Leighton Brooks who makes way instead. He's had a good night tonight. Great shifts. Constant danger down that right-hand side. Luke Francis, his first 2 goals in Preston colours. Couldn't have gone much better. Only that one chance he had on the turn in the first half could have been a hat-trick, but a way to endear himself to his new fans. Just his second start.
Yeah, the output and the effort that you get from Leighton Brooks on that right side, we've seen it all year long. Ever present throughout the first half in particular tonight. Doesn't get on the score sheet, but another solid shift in the bank for Leighton Brooks. And 3 new men out there now for Preston as Tommy Semi is not finding a way through there.
The worry for Knights now is if you look at the Port Melbourne game. Port in a similar position to the Knights. Once Preston brought those substitutes in, they really put the hurt on them. 3 of the players who came off the bench for Preston on that Sunday afternoon all scored. So as the Knights respond, play some of the football that we saw them play at the tail end of the first half, could be on the receiving end of a pretty emphatic scoreline.
Close to full time at JL Murphy, a 2-0 lead for Dandenong Thunder over the Sharks, who are down to 10. A busy night in NPL Victoria, where the majority of the fixtures are taking place on the Friday. Tommy Semi. It's from the middle of the pitch for a blaze one. Frustrating shot from range. Just a frustrating flash of that ball, really. Just nothing happening for Melbourne Knights tonight. Not a single shot on target. Barely even shots of that.
17, Jason Romero, and number 10, Connor.
Just a save or 2 out of Ryan Scott, but none of them have been at full stretch or been straight at him. Tommy Semi can hit them from distance, but even for him that was optimistic. Perhaps hopeful is a better descriptor. Paperwork filed for another Preston change from the looks of things. Dunlop's throw. Anderson. Back with Werndl. Here they come, the Knights. Decent cross to the back post, but there was no one arriving. For the first time, probably in the whole half, we've seen AJ Inya beat his man and get to the byline, put the ball into the box. There weren't enough runners gambling at the back post. Alex Hurd is going to come on for the Knights. Just pump it upfield. Moment of hesitation for Bozanovsky as Semi nips in. Inia. Driven cross. Kubele stretches and heads away. Held up well by Romero. Scott will send it forwards. So Dennis wins the flick on. Romero is caught by Valenti. Will surely go into the book this time after he got away without a booking in the first half. And yes, indeed, the yellow ticket is produced. So Marcus Schroen ready to come on. The Preston Lions, after scoring a spectacular free kick against Port Melbourne from an acute angle. Alex Hurd is going to come on for Masato Chiba. Luke Jego will make way for the skipper. So the armband will be handed over. Another industrious shift from Luke Jego, who's been able to maintain his position in the Preston starting lineup in recent weeks. After a period out with injury and spell out of the team, he did his hamstring away at the Knights, which really derailed his season, but back to his best. Luke Jego. For Romero. Hurd in pursuit. Schroen. Marcus Schroen on the verge of a milestone goal. His next will be his 50th in the Victorian top flight. Scored for South Melbourne, of course, the vast majority of those goals, but also for Hume City and Dandenong Thunder. Romero chips it into the channel for Connor Bell. He scored in such spectacular fashion against the Sharks. He drives the cross in low. Back out to Strong. Anderson. Whipped in by Negro. And away as far as Foligno. Romero. At his heels, clips by Dunlop, and that will be a free kick. Promising position. Favours the right footer from this angle. It's the skipper Stroll and go across and pull rank at him.
Scored a lovely free kick last week, didn't he, from the other side. 2 goals this year. Marcus Stroll, the first of which the first time these two teams met back in April. 1-0 win for Preston at Summer Street. Romero and Strowan sit over the top of this ball. 3-man wall for the Melbourne Knights. They're both fresh out there, talking it over. We've got 1-4-0 scoreline in NPL Victoria tonight. Preston looking to make it a double in that respect. It did take a deflection off the wall, then fired away. One of the men in the wall has gone down here. I didn't see where the ball had made contact. Whether this is head contact or not, I'm not sure. Might need to take a look at the replay here.
I think that's the reason that Yanni Zizis has stopped the game for a head injury. Preston weren't happy because they still had a chance to score. Yeah, that's caught the defender in the temple there. That's a really painful one and a potential concussion risk. So the referee right to bring the game to a halt. Second Falcon of the night. The first was a spectator.
Yep. Never a good time for that to happen, but when it's the wind chill that we have like this, still looking to confirm who that defender was.
I think it was Valenti.
Come to the sideline now. Great battle that he had with Leighton Brooks for the first hour and a bit here tonight. Immediately comes back out, the former Preston Lions man. So, two teams that have had trouble closing out games at times throughout this season. And obviously, this result is pretty comfortably in the books. And we could still get a late moment or two here. It could feature on the highlight reel at the end. It's a highlight reel that's going to pretty heavily feature Preston, of course. Tommy Semi, the first touch was into traffic. Another man's gone down. Might be Kieran Bramwell. Just hasn't been able to get much of a chance to impact tonight, Bramwell, Melbourne Knights captain. A couple more changes coming up here for the visitors. And Carrigan and Steve Lawless will get some late action here.
Changes have come very late for the Knights. It feels as if the game might already be beyond their grasp, barring a minor miracle.
Become accustomed to drama here at Jenna Steele Stadium. I don't think we're going to get that tonight. Another collision here. We've only had the one booking this evening from Yanni Zizis. There's a Knights player writhing in pain here. Is it Valenti again? Two more players ready to come on. Carrigan and Lawless. Play will stop once more.
You mentioned former Preston player. That's a former Preston physio out there, Dr. Johnny Markov.
Fraser Dunlop, the player, injured.
He's calling for the change as well. So maybe a rethink for the Knights for their substitutions. Alex Hurd more than capable of playing fullback, so bring on someone who can operate in the wide area and be able to cover.
Yeah, Dunlop's going to stay out there.
Well, there was a clear substitution signal from the physio, but for the time being, there's a Dunlop soldiers on.
He's going to get involved here. Long ranger from Hurd. Dunlop. Oh, tracked all the way through. It's just been one of those nights for the Melbourne Knights.
It's been a few for the blooper reel this evening. I'll give him a pass there, given he's just gone down with an injury that has seen him substituted. Hasn't seen the board yet, Fraser Dunlop.
And the other man off is Jack Morton.
So Steve Lawless and Ben Carrigan. And to replace Morton and Dunlop.
Clearing ball from Ryan Scott. Triple Eight sending it skyward. Bouncing up and down off the deck, eventually sent forward by Brownwell.
Go! Go!
It's going to get away from Felino.
Demi! Demi! Go on the right!
So the Knights just looking to get on the board here. Some sort of consolation.
If they get one, and Adam, you never know. It's a nasty tackle from Nathan Hancock. The referee reaches for the back pocket. The red card is out. And Nathan Hancock will be sent off for an out-of-control challenge.
That sparked the melee here. Orders confirmed for Nathan Hancock. He's just found out about the red card.
Well, you could see straight away the way the referee ran over to the incident. There was only one outcome. It's always that dangerous moment where there's a miscontrol and then a two-footed tackle. It's a lunge. And there's really no arguing with that decision, in my opinion. It's John Albano who's on the receiving end. A yellow card for Marcus Strohan for his involvement in the melee, so too for Aaron Anderson. Well, that means that Marcus Strohan will be suspended for next week's game. That's his 5th booking of the season.
Back here against Melbourne Victory. John Albano back up on his feet now. We thought he was coming off in that triple change.
He will be coming off now.
Brandon Lawson's about to come on here for Preston. Albano's just stepped out now. We are seeing some late drama here. Jenna Steele Stadium.
It's a diabolical tackle.
Nathan Hancock's going to miss next week as well.
At least next week we'll see what the tribunal deems that worthy of.
Yanni Zizis, I did make some sort of comment recently, didn't I, about the lack of bookies tonight. He's been quite busy all of a sudden late.
I think once tempers begin to boil over. And Preston have made that change now. Brandon Lawton coming on for John Albano. So Lawton will go to the right flank. Mr. Versatile. Connor Bell coming out to his favoured left-hand side.
Now in the final minute of regulation as well. Good night for Preston. Being able to further shore up the goal difference. We're in the minus only 2 fixtures ago. Just 1 minute added on here. Don't see that too often in the second half. Just the 1 minute at the end of the 90.
Especially when there's been a couple of goals and a lot of substitutions. But
facts.
Yanni Zizis is going to call a halt to the game early. Perhaps he felt it was getting out of control and the result was no longer in the balance. But Preston will be happy with that. 3 points delivered at home and successive wins in the league for only the second time this season. The Melbourne Knights spiral further towards relegation. Will take some sort of great escape for them to stay up from here. We'll be anxiously awaiting the result of South Melbourne versus Altona on Sunday. For Preston, 2 goals for the new man, Luke Francis, and 1 headed in from close range from Aaron Anderson. His first goal in over a year. Secures the points, and they do enough here to earn a deserved victory. Adam, in truth, it could have been more.
Yeah, 8-0 aggregate now against seemingly relegation-bound opponents now for Preston. Hitting form, though, at the right time of year. And I think, yeah, a good call by Yanni Zizis to call that early if indeed he did feel like it was getting out of control right at the end. It was a really, really nasty challenge that we saw from Nathan Hancock on John Albano right at the end. Good to see that John Albano is indeed okay. So he shakes hands with some former teammates. And, yeah, 4 more to go now for Melbourne Knights. It seems that they are destined to go down. They've got some tough fixtures still coming up. They're going over into the southeast next week for a date with the Dandenong Thunder. And Preston shaping nicely to finish in this top 6, come up from VPL 1 and go straight into the postseason in NPL Victoria.
It's been a perfect night for Preston with results all going their way. Their top 6 rivals dropping points. This is just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, it's a 5-0 lead for Oakley around the grounds against Hume City as well, although this has been cancelled out on the Football 24 app. It was showing 5 momentarily there, but 4-0. Either way, it's an outstanding night for Preston.
Oh, Adam, thank you for joining me tonight on the NPL Victoria live stream, and thank you for tuning in at home. Preston Lions with the victory. Melbourne Knights, again, plenty of soul searching for them during the week. The final score at Geneseo Stadium is Preston Lions 3, Melbourne Knights 0.